What if I told you there's a dark side to achieving your first $100,000? In just a few minutes, I'm going to reveal the 5 surprising psychological tactics that can either sabotage your success or catapult you to wealth. Are you ready to discover what they don't teach you in business school? Let's dive in. You're grinding 14 hours a day, staring at spreadsheets, watching your bank account crawl, while some 22-year-old on your feed just bought a Porsche. It makes you sick, right? Why are they winning? Because they're using behavioral triggers you're totally ignoring. Did you know the Federal Reserve found that only about 16% of Americans ever reach six-figure savings? That means 84% of people are playing the game completely wrong. It's not about working harder or having a better LLC structure. It's about how you manipulate human perception. I'm going to show you exactly how to bypass the logical brain of your clients, your boss, and your investors. What happens when you make them feel like giving you a massive check is entirely their own brilliant idea? Grab a notepad. Let's dive into Step 1. Step 1. Why are people begging to overpay you? Have you ever noticed how a $5 coffee at Starbucks feels totally normal, but a $5 finance app feels like an absolute scam? That's the dark art of price anchoring. You're probably pricing your freelance services or your products based on what you think is mathematically fair. Big mistake. Behavioral economists at MIT ran a famous study using magazine subscriptions. By introducing a useless, wildly expensive third option, the decoy, they manipulated buyers and increased sales of the premium option by over 30%. They literally controlled the buyers' minds. When you offer your skills, never ever give just one price. Pitch a wildly expensive decoy package first. If your goal is to sell a $5,000 consulting package, you first show them a $15,000 masterclass option. Suddenly, your core $5,000 offer looks like an absolute steal. They feel like a genius for choosing it, and you just doubled your income without changing the product at all. You control the narrative. But getting the price right means absolutely nothing if they don't trust you. And trust? Well, it's shockingly easy to hack. Step 2. The dangerous illusion of the halo effect. Think about the last time you bought a course or hired a contractor just because their website looked incredibly sharp and the founder spoke with absolute authority. You didn't check their credentials. You got hit by the halo effect. It's a cognitive bias where we assume that because someone is exceptional at one thing, like dressing impeccably or speaking smoothly, they're a genius at everything else. A massive study by the University of Texas showed that people perceived as highly attractive or well-groomed literally earn about 10% to 15% more over a lifetime. It's brutal, it feels unfair, but it's real data. In the business world, if your branding, your video lighting, or your pitch deck looks like it belongs to a Fortune 500 company, the human brain automatically assumes your financial advice or service is elite. You bypass their critical thinking entirely. You dress your offer in a psychological tailored suit, and they hand over the cash without a second thought. But what if looking like a millionaire isn't enough to make them pull out their credit card right now? Step 3. How to weaponize the fear of missing out. Why do you suddenly want a stock, a crypto coin, or a service the second someone tells you that you can't have it? It's the darkest, most primitive trigger in the business world: artificial scarcity. You see this everywhere in finance and consulting. You'll hear things like, "I'm only taking 3 new clients this quarter." You know deep down it's probably a marketing lie, yet your heart rate still spikes. You feel the FOMO. Research from the journal Appetite showed a crazy phenomenon where people rated the exact same chocolate chip cookies as significantly more delicious when there were only 2 in the jar compared to 10. Scarcity literally changes human brain chemistry and perception of value. When you pitch your product or negotiate your salary to finally hit that $100,000 mark, you must frame your availability as severely limited. If you're always available, your perceived value is 0. You have to make them feel the agonizing pain of losing out on you. But making them chase you is only half the battle. How do you make them feel permanently indebted to you? Step 4. the debt they didn't ask for. Imagine a business rival buys you a massively expensive steak dinner. You immediately feel this burning, uncomfortable need to return the favor, right? This is the rule of reciprocity, and it's a weapon. In the digital business world, giving away free, high-value content isn't just about being a nice guy. It's a highly calculated psychological trap. A classic sociological study by Philip Koons involved sending out 600 high-quality Christmas cards to complete strangers. The result? Nearly 20% sent a card back to a person they didn't even know, just to clear the psychological debt. When you give a potential high-ticket client a free financial audit, a custom strategy plan, or a massive tip that instantly saves them thousands of dollars, you're planting a seed of debt. They'll literally feel psychological distress until they pay you back, usually by hiring you or buying your premium offer. You weaponize your generosity to drain their wallets. But all these clever tactics will fail completely if you lack the ultimate dark trait. Step 5. The reality distortion field. Why do so many average C-student entrepreneurs become millionaires while the straight-A geniuses stay completely broke? It all comes down to the Pygmalion effect. This is the psychological phenomenon where incredibly high expectations directly lead to improved performance. But the dark side of this is sheer self-delusion. Steve Jobs was famous for his reality distortion field, convincing himself and his entire team that impossible engineering feats were just casual tasks. And it worked. Studies in organizational psychology prove that leaders who display borderline irrational confidence secure way more venture capital funding and close significantly bigger deals, entirely regardless of their actual initial competence. You literally have to brainwash yourself first. When you demand $10,000 for a single project, your voice absolutely can't shake. Not even a little. If you believe your service is worth a fortune with psychotic certainty, their mirror neurons will fire, and they'll adopt your belief as their own. You aren't just faking it until you make it. You're permanently altering their reality with your absolute certainty. So, what's your next move? You now hold the exact psychological blueprints to manipulate perceived value, manufacture instant trust, weaponize scarcity, induce psychological debt, and distort reality itself. Getting to your first $100K is absolutely not a math problem. It's a human behavior problem. The masses will keep trading hours for pennies, terrified to push the boundaries of human psychology. But you're different. You're an insider now. You're going to take these 5 steps, apply them to your business tomorrow morning, and watch the friction between you and serious wealth completely vanish. You have the tools to make them beg to pay you. The only terrifying question left is, what will you do when the dark psychology actually works and that first $100,000 finally hits your bank account? If this video made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more nuggets of wisdom on finance. What's your experience with wealth? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay vibrant and keep hustling.